Hello,
Yun.
everyone. Welcome to the My Legal Wiz podcast. My name is Patrick, and I'm joined, as always, by our CEO, Dexter Feliciano. And today we actually have another uh, addition to our panel, Nax panel.
Hmm.
Today, Rico Desengano from Singapore, and he's someone basically who works with OFWs and demanding environments in countries that are much way more developed than the Philippines. But today, actually, our topic, we want to talk about rule of law and how we can empower Filipinos to be more aware of their rights,
Mhm.
their where they stand in terms of the law, and how they can use tools like My Legal Wiz to improve their quality of life. So the rule of
Mhm.
law is very basic. It's a fundamental principle. We talked about this in another podcast and we thought about expanding it a bit more because it's a very important topic that we believe dapat yung mga Pinoy talaga everywhere and whether in the Philippines and even outside should know about rule of law. But the legal system, it exists purely to protect its people. That means that every individual should understand their rights and how the law applies to their daily life. So in the Philippines, we know that the law exists, but sometimes we also know for a fact that even though it exists, it's not really implemented, it's not really enforced.
Hmm.
And there's a very big disconnect right now. There's a gap where access to and understanding the law are very uneven. And we want to change that here in My Legal Ways. That's the reason why we're doing podcasts like this, and we're why we created the solution that we also have, which is the My Legal Ways library and Play AI. And today,
Mhm.
I definitely wanna hear from our two other people in this podcast. No, let's talk about the cornerstone of the rule of law and how Filipinos can be empowered both here in the Philippines and even abroad. Dex, really quickly, as our in-house legal
Hmm.
expert, why is legal empowerment for Filipino people critical for a more robust rule of law?
Yeah, it's fundamental to have knowledge about your rights and obligations as a citizen. That's basic, no? So for a lot of Filipinos, especially those who are in our barangays, no, in local mga local constituents sa mga cities and municipalities, they don't have really good access to quality legal advice. So this innovation like My Legal Wiz and its AI component like Leia, which is Leia, no, it will definitely empower them by having the basic knowledge of their rights and duties. For example, I was talking to one of our marketing agents here in the Philippines na siya mismo nagagamit niya sa barangay niya. There are disputes about land, may nakagat ng aso, sino magbabayad ng rabies shot, no? For example, before Leia, meron silang kapitbahay na nakagat ng aso, no, sa barangay, and ang nagbayad ay siya mismo. Sabi niya parte-parte daw sila nung may-ari ng aso tsaka siya. Pero since hindi niya alam yung batas na kailangan ang may obligasyon na magbayad ng ospital or ng rabies shot, eh, yung may-ari ng aso, ang nagbayad ng 2 shots out of 3 ay siya mismo yung biktima at isa lang ang binayaran ng
Mm.
ng may-ari ng aso. So those kinds of things, hindi na mangyayari yun when you know about your rights,
Yeah,
'no?
yeah.
With
I
My
think
Legal Wiz kaagad immediately you'll
true.
know it.
True, because well, one of the reasons why rule of law is not implemented in the Philippines is because kulang din sa kaalaman, 'di ba? There's very
Hmm.
little awareness in terms of how the law can protect your rights then as a
Hmm.
citizen. That can apply in the case that you mentioned, Dex, no, na even down to the barangay level, or even for like employees and how they
Hmm.
are protected by labor law, and the other way around, where employers are also protected by law. I remember kasi I think a month back, diba, we were together here in Bacolod and we did an event. Tapos in that event, we also had a labor lawyer talking
Mm.
to entrepreneurs about, okay, how do you deal with labor cases, ganito, ganyan. And I was so surprised that a lot of business owners don't know how to deal with labor cases. And it really shows how there's really a lack of awareness in terms of how the law really applies on a day-to-day level. So that's a very important point to make. Rico, a quick question for you. I mean, of course, as someone who works with OFWs naman, like how do you like what are the challenges that you see OFWs face today when it comes to knowing the law and how it can protect their rights?
Okay. Essentially kasi, in my experience, sa mga naririnig kong, challenges that OFWs I've worked with face is no, iba-iba kasi, eh. There are some OFWs who face legal challenges here in Singapore. Uh, for example, uh social media defamation, and I used to belong to this organization na nagkaroon ng mga ganyan, nagsisiraan social media as OFWs. And many of them, it's quite streamlined dito sa Singapore, you make a police report and then, if the case is, really, serious, then the police will then advise you to file it in the magistrate courts, no, if it constitutes harassment.
Mm,
Another challenge that Filipinos face is mga legal problems sa Pilipinas.
Mm.
mm, yeah,
Mainly kadalasan kasi usually mga dispute sa lupa, divorcee or yung mga kasi walang divorce sa Pinas.
yeah,
Another
Mm.
one is
yeah,
Annulment.
annulment. We have annulment, but I've met clients who, they're separated and then they're trying to figure out kung ano yung dapat gawin, 'no, kung ano ba, may mahahabol ba, and essentially wala talaga silang, ma-approach, and, the only way if they really wanna pursue it, they have to go back to the Philippines and pursue it. Oh, I have another case pala. I have clients, 'no,
Mm.
sa they're now based there in the Philippines, but the husband used to work in Singapore.
mm,
And the thing is, the husband, is married to another Filipina, OFW din. But married
mm,
sila dito sa Singapore,
Mm.
mm,
ROM, Registry of Marriage. So, ngayon, ang problema nila is na-register nila yung marriage nila sa Pilipinas, right?
oh, okay,
And sa Singapore, yung marriage nila is divorced na, wala na, hindi na sila kasal dito sa Singapore. But sa Pilipinas, kasal pa din kasi walang divorce, 'no? So, the problem arose when we were doing their will planning nung mga investments nila. So, sabi nila, "Rico, paano ngayon 'yan? If my husband was to pass away, sa mata ng Singapore, the money will then be distributed, yung investments and both insurance will be distributed to ano, to whoever he nominates sa beneficiary niya." But then again, sa Pilipinas, ang nakalagay, asawa, 'di ba, yung whoever you're
Mm.
married to.
yeah,
So it becomes a problem, 'no? Kasi although Singaporean account yung meron sila, yung investments nila, um, sa mata ng Pilipinas, may power pa din yung so-called ex-wife, although divorced na sila dito sa Singapore. So these are just one of the
Correct.
examples that I've
Yeah.
faced so far, and this particular example is very, uh, clear kasi last month when I went back to Manila, 'no, I passed them their will planning, I think I sent that in my broadcast sila yun. So, I introduced them to ano, to my legal whiz, and then, yeah, one day they're gonna ask questions sa Leia, and hopefully matulungan talaga
Mm.
sila kasi it's a really slippery slope.
yeah,
It's a very
yeah,
difficult
yeah,
problem.
true,
Yeah.
true. Even in the cases of um business law, no, See, Rico and I, Dex, we're working on helping one of my clients to register in Singapore, register
Mm-hmm.
the company in Singapore. And taxation, like question like that,
Yeah.
no? How do the taxation laws come into play in a scenario where you have a Philippine entity and a Singapore entity? And we have questions like that, and minsan it can be a big bottleneck for businesses who want to expand globally. Eh, that the truth of the matter is, and I've seen this time and time again for us as Filipinos, no, we yes, we love, local, and that's important. Importante yan. Kailangan natin mahalin yung atin, yung sariling atin.
Mm.
But we also have to think globally kasi we now live in a global world. Like,
Yeah.
there globalization, internet, hindi pwede na we will just be stuck in the four corners of our own borders. And so in situations like that, one of the big challenges that Filipino business owners, and kahit hindi business owners, kahit yung employees din nila mismo, struggle with is because there's very little knowledge about, the law and how it
Mm-hmm.
is to be implemented and enforced when you go beyond borders. I mean, it's so funny because like when we were talking about that, it's really a whole new world talaga. I mean, talagang sobrang Disney level na na whole new world, hindi natin alam yung mga ganito. But our hope here in my with my legal ways, no, and through the content that we're creating is to just build awareness, get people to think about, wait a minute, every decision I make, whether it's business, whether it's day to day, disputes and conflicts, there is a legal aspect to it, and I need to be aware of those aspects and how it's implemented in my life. So
So with the taxation, Patrick, Leia was able to provide you with a the answer for it,
yes,
the
we have
question
a
about.
starting point. At least alam na namin na when kasi like after that, the decision was let's talk to a tax lawyer. But of course, you
Mm.
go to a tax lawyer, you wanna you have
Equip.
two options. It's either start from scratch tayo, tagal na usapan 'to,
Mm.
or you get uh, an initial, already, an initial answer.
Evaluation, legal
Correct, oo.
evaluation.
So, what happened in this
Mm.
scenario, yung client na yun, nag-ChatGPT siya. Sabi ko, delikado yan. Let's
Mm.
ano, let's ask Leah muna. So, I asked Leah and then I took the case. I said, this is the scenario. We have a business. We wanna expand to Singapore. Taxation, will be double taxed? How does the tax treaty come into play? All of the things that sige,
It
nakakatulong
made a
naman.
comparison also.
It made a comparison. And so when we had that answer, we're that this just happened like very recently. Like this happened this morning lang.
Mhm.
And now at least we have an appointment with the tax lawyer. May starting point na. So we can go to the tax lawyer ready and armed with the right knowledge information. Yung mahirap kasi minsan when especially here for Filipinos who don't know about, tools like this, is you really have come in empty-handed and start from scratch, and it takes so much time from not just the client or the person with a legal inquiry, but it also takes a lot of the time of the lawyer to understand the situation. So now with an answer from Leia, you have like a certain diagnosis, there's a comparison, there are
Mhm.
some recommendations, you can show that to the lawyer and the lawyer can go and say, oh, actually ito yung pinakamagandang recommendation based on your ano. So it saves the time then for the attorney, the tax attorney who's handling the case. So that's again one
Yeah.
of the many, but still, uh, I'm sure that that's a case that happens regularly. If you're listening to this, you're working for a multinational company, I'm sure na araw-araw may mga ganun tayong mga cases na lumalabas, ano? And so imagine what your office, your department would look like if you had a tool like Leia AI to help you with these questions. So I want to quickly shift, no, little bit and talk about rule of law a bit deeper, go down deeper into that, no. Dex, quick, I guess
Mhm.
like from you, no, like what are the issues that you see that challenge rule of law for Filipinos?
Well, again, with rule of law, uh, it cannot be really valued unless it is enforced. No, it should be backed up by force. So rule of law is just a piece of paper. It's just like an epitaph. Yung dinidiscuss sa mga law schools that rule of law instead of rule of men. But actually, a rule of law is it's just it's just an ideal unless it is properly executed or implemented. So in the Philippines, no, we have that issue, no, crucial issue of enforcement. We have a lot of laws, but we fail to implement it really well. And usually, the implementation is selective. It's
Right.
very politically motivated in this country. Unlike, for example, let's get some insight from Rico in Singapore. But what we think about Singapore is the rule of law is really strictly enforced. Dito kasi sa Pilipinas, pwede kang tumawid kahit na, walang pedestrian lane, etc. So, or pwede mong pag pumunta ka and nagkaroon ka ng traffic violations, meron kang pwedeng pakiusapan ng police na parang padaanin ka na lang. So, yan ang situation natin sa Pilipinas. In a larger scale, in government, so we have a lot of issues, no? There are corruption issues. There
Yeah.
are things that parang, mali ito ah. This is a violation of the Constitution. This is a violation of the law. Pero, hindi ini-enforce.
Yeah. So we have an enforcement problem. We know what the law is. We know it's important, but the enforcement, the execution, that's where we fall flat. And Rico, I'm sure that you've seen this. We've had conversations about this in the first step, no? The wide difference between the enforcement of law in the Philippines and the Singapore. Kind of walk us through like what your revelation has been as you've seen like the difference in the terms of how rule of law is implemented in these two countries.
Yeah. I think you already know that, I grew up in the Philippines until I was 13 years old, no? And I moved to Singapore when I was 13. And then during those 13 years na nakatira ako sa Pilipinas, I always thought that, hey, these pedestrian lanes don't work. You don't need to, you know, to press a button para tumawid sa kalsada. Kung gusto mo tumawid, tawid ka lang basta wag ka lang masagasaan. I was aware. Oh yeah, I'm aware of that, no? Sa Pilipinas ganyan. When I moved to Singapore, dito ko na-realize na, uy, ganito pala yung merong rules and laws, no?
Yeah.
So, nung nag-move ako dito, kasi in Singapore, we call this country a fine country. You know what that means? A fine country. Some people would say it's fine kasi maganda. But what we mean by fine is fine, multa. Okay? It's a very fine country, bro. Yeah?
A
Singapore.
very fine country.
Yes. Konting mali, multa. Jaywalking, multa. Dumura ka sa sahig, multa. Mag-smuggle ka ng bubble gum, multa. Dito bawal bubble gum, by the way, just to let you know.
Oh, yeah.
Multa. Yeah, bawal bubble gum dito, pre. So, like what you were saying, enforcement is very important, no? And in Singapore, the standard of living is so high. Napakamahal ng bilihin dito. And people are let's talk about the commoners, right? The middle class, perhaps. That everyone is just earning just enough to survive and have a little bit of savings. People are financially literate here in Singapore. But the salary and the expenses is medyo magkalapit pero hindi ka magugutom dito. Now,
Mm.
in terms of enforcement, kapag ikaw hindi sumunod sa batas, you will then have to pay a fine. And the fine here is super expensive, pare. Do you know that if you're caught smoking in a non-smoking area, alam mo kung magkano ang fine, ang multa?
Kano?
$300, bro. $300. How much is that in pesos? About 15,000? Going to 15,000
Mga
pesos.
ganon.
Pag
Yeah, close.
nagyosi ka, basta may bubong, 15,000 pesos ibabayad mo. O, di ba?
Wow.
Which is good.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
good in
Ganun
some
lang,
way.
I've been fined that before. Na-fine ako niyan dati nung bata ako. Oo. And it wasn't good because if you're earning $3,000
Yeah.
and then your expenses is roughly 2,700 at naiipon mo
Tama
yung
ko yan.
$300 mo at
Oo.
namulta ka, eh di wala kang ipon.
Wala kang ipon.
Yes. So, ganun lang enforcement dito. Ganun lang enforcement
Yeah.
dito. It's all about money pa din. Money,
Yeah.
to many people, money is commodity, no? So, what the government does is it takes the money out of,
Mm.
ginagamit nila yung weak point ng mga nakatira sa Singapore, no? Through
Yeah.
fines. Yeah.
Galing,
And
galing. But
also another
it's
thing.
very different kasi when rules have teeth talaga eh. 'Di ba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
another
different
That's
thing,
why
talaga.
bro,
yeah.
another thing ha. Ano ba ang diyan? Ano ang parusa sa sa pag kuwari smuggling or distributing of drugs? Let's say marijuana
Dito sa Pinas,
sa Pinas.
let's
Oh,
ask
ask
Leia.
Leia. Mag-share ka. Ask Leia.
O magkano?
Hindi,
Ano yung fine?
well, yeah, let's see the fine.
Marijuana lang let's say nagbebenta ka lang, street seller lang, distributor.
Na may Leia ka, Pat.
Ito I'm asking Leia now. Ask Leia
Sige
tayo.
nga. Let's
What is
share.
the fine?
Kailangan
Ito.
i-record mo yan, bro, ha?
Oo.
Mhm.
Yeah, share. Ito. Share screen.
Yun.
If I'm caught smuggling or selling marijuana in the Philippines. Tindi ng question, no?
Simple lang. Simple lang.
Yeah. Simple question. Simple lang. For the sake, I'm sure we can put more details in. But ayan, penalty. So life imprisonment to death.
Oh. Nangyayari ba yan? Tanong.
And then it's now interpreted as reclusion perpetua. So life sentence.
The death penalty is
Life
suspended.
sentence.
And then fine is 500,000 to 10 million pesos. Yun. So
Depende
that's for
sa quantity.
importation. Sale, ganun din. So life imprisonment. Reclusion perpetua. So basically, that's tama Dex. So that's imprisonment until the day that
Yes.
you pass away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Usually, mga 40 years. Tapos your...
Sa Singapore, you know what's the penalty?
Ano?
Death.
Wow.
Walang usap-usap.
Oo, pag
If you're...
I think 2 years ago, merong binitay dito, nagbenta ng marijuana. 500 grams lang. 500
Yeah.
grams is what? Isang brick, pare.
Oo.
Death penalty, bro. Yeah. So people are scared.
People are scared of the law.
Yeah, and
That's
then they
why
show it.
I want to ask Rico nga parang when you, for example, have a dispute with, fellow Singaporeans or Filipinos, their citizens, no, they kind of are on their toes when they think that they're violating the law. So for example, when you send a demand letter and you did not respond, they're kind of, oh, baka may pulis na humarap sa akin bukas, no?
Yeah, true.
Ikaw, Rico, what's your experience about that? You can share
Ah,
something.
yes. Meron akong experience na ganyan na this is yung recent case na lang. I'll share this with you guys.
Mm,
I won't get into too much detail, but
yeah.
um, to summarize it, I had this nagkaroon ng parang case na may nang de-defame sa akin,
Mm,
defamation, social media defamation. Um, Not just social media, the person was distributing false claims about me to
mhm,
acquaintances, to people that know me,
mhm,
in fact, to my family then, right? And it was it was great, kasi why do I say it's great? Kasi I got through it. I ended up sending him a cease and desist letter. Kasi ayaw niya talaga tumigil, eh. He keeps talking about me on social media, referring to me, calling me names, you know.
mm,
And of course, in my line of work, my image is very important, no?
mm,
So that's when I decided to bring it to to Singapore authorities.
Authorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, I subscribe to Leia, no, to My Legal Wiz, and I am aware that My Legal Wiz is a database of the Philippine law. Okay, but
mhm.
I used it as well to ask about the Singaporean law.
Through
So
Leia.
nag-send ako ng oo, si Leia. Nag-send ako ng link, yung state courts sa Singapore, yung mga batas. May website dito, eh, you can find it.
Mm,
Sinend ko lang
Mm.
sa link, sabi ko kay Leia, "Hey, you are my lawyer now. I'm facing this, this, this." I told Leia about what's going on and key important details. And it was great that Leia managed to advise me accordingly. So si Leia lang yung nagsasabi sa akin, "Uy, you gotta make a police report, not because you want to file, but you wanna keep it in record initially in case na uh, mag-continue siyang defame." And after that, nag-continue nga. So tinanong ko naman si Leia, "Leia, this person is doing it again. He's not stopping." Okay, that's fine. Send him a message that tells him to stop contacting me and my family, and further communication will be then documented. So nilike ngayon nung tao kasi sinendan niya ako ng mga incriminating messages, eh.
mhm,
So nag-continue pa din. Now I was like, okay, this guy is not stopping. Tinanong ko ngayon si Leia, "Leia, this is what he's doing now. This is what I've done so far. Remember this because I will refer to this in the future. What should I do now?" You know, boom. And then Leia just advised me like a real person. He was like, "Okay, by sending him a message that asks him to stop contacting you, it's you being calm and objective and drawing the line. No, if he crosses against that, beyond that, it shows that he is purposely really, breaking the law in spite of you drawing the line against him." So ngayon sabi ni Leia, what
mhm.
you can do now is make another police report and send him a cease and desist letter. So
Mhm.
Mm.
ginawa ni Leia, nag-craft out siya ng cease and desist, bro. And then
Mm.
Leo advised me to send a hard copy and text the person via WhatsApp nung same letter na yun. Ang ganda ng pagkasulat kasi ni-narrate ni
Wow.
Leia kung ano yung mga ginawa niyang violation, kasama yung potential laws na bine-break niya, and what are the
Liability.
possible outcomes. Yeah, if he continues, sinend ko sa kanya. And you know what, bro? He stopped. And He
Nice.
stopped contacting,
Without even
but
going to the court.
Yeah,
without
correct.
even going to the court, yeah, without even consulting a lawyer. So
Yeah.
I saved a lot of money. Now, itong
Mm.
taong 'to apparently, nag-post siya ng isa pang pahapyaw na post, tapos yung hashtag niya, cis, as in cyst, yung CYST, hashtag
Yeah.
disease. Yeah, parang pinaparinggan niya pa din. So, nagja-jab pa din siya. He's throwing a jab.
Mm.
So, sinend ko kay Leia. Sabi ko, Leia, this is what he did. What should I do now? Okay, Rico, this is obviously something na na talagang nagko-continue pa siya. I think it's time for you
Mm.
to make another police report and then file a magistrate complaint a complaint sa magistrate court dito sa Singapore. So which I did. Sinend ko yung mga yung mga messages niya, and by the way, Leia advised me to not talk to him at all during this
Mm.
whole time. Na huwag ka magre-reply, control your emotions, your silence is your weapon. Ayun yung sabi sa akin ni Leia. Ayun,
Grabe
nag-send
si
ako
Leia.
ng magistrate complaint, and sa 16th, which is about 9 days from now, meron na kaming appointment dun. And then I'm just gonna show everything he did, and then we'll see how it goes. No, we'll see how it
Ah.
goes, because
Yeah.
this guy really destroyed my Christmas. Spent my Christmas researching, taking down documents. Nagkikip ako ng mga documents, piniprint ko yung mga sinend niya, and together with my wife Karina was doing it as well. And I'm
Yeah.
very happy na nandyan si Leia, no? Or else I would have replied him and told, maybe awayin ko siya through text.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
But Leia
Yeah.
told me not to.
the anxiety and worrying, no, medyo nabawasan, although it wasn't completely eliminated because you're fixing some documents, recording some items. But the thing is, here you don't you didn't need to approach and have spend a lot of money to get a lawyer immediately. No, you just sent a letter. That's the power of rule of law in Singapore, by the way. No,
Mm.
if you have those kinds of like demand letter, cease and desist, pag alam ng tao na parang ang gobyerno will really act upon any violation of the law, tatahimik talaga ang isang citizen. No?
Yeah.
That is a very important component of the
Yeah.
rule of law.
But I want to make a comment kasi Dex, and I see this
Mhm.
especially outside of Metro Manila, where
Mhm.
in the province kasi sometimes the law can really be tama ka, sinabi mo. It's very grabe yung partiality, 'di ba? Very discriminating, especially to people na walang access sa abogado, hindi masyadong okay financially. The reason why sige, before that, in cases like that normally, doon nangyayari yung abuse of power. Yung, rich, for example, like in where I'm at in the Negros Islands, you have
Mm.
big landowners who are taking advantage of small farmers. And
Yun.
many times these small farmers, they have no choice kasi they don't have access nga to a lawyer. They don't know where to ask. They don't know about tools like Leia, which can be very cost effective na parang for the same price as like cell phone load, they can ask a legal, question already. And so
Mhm.
in cases like this, actually yung pinakakulang lang talaga is knowledge legal knowledge.
It's a great equalizer. Ang Leia AI, it's a great equalizer. So whether you're rich or poor, no, employee or an employer, no, hindi ka pwedeng maisahan as long as you
Yeah.
have
Right.
that knowledge, legal knowledge about your rights and duties.
Right. Yeah. True. And like going back to the example I shared earlier about, the client that we're helping with with the registration in Singapore, kami ni Rico.
Mhm.
You have the option to either Google or ChatGPT. Pero minsan din, 'di ba? Again, we've said this many times in this podcast. There's the risk of hallucination. Imagine pag
Mhm.
binigyan si Rico ng hallucinated answer dun sa case ng defamation. That would have been very risky then.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
why it's
risky.
important. It's always important, and for those who are listening, to always make sure that you're using a tool that really focuses on accuracy. Kasi kung
Yeah,
hindi
because
yeah. Go ahead, Lex.
kasi the main difference kasi between generic search, generic AIs and a legal AI like Clea, for example, ChatGPT, a generic AI, is it's focused on creativity.
Yep.
Eh, magkaiba sila ng batas eh. Ang batas hindi pwedeng super creative. It should be precise and accurate. Otherwise, it won't hold water in court. No, it won't you won't have a proper strong legal basis na pwede mong enforce. Kasi ang enforcement should always be based on what the law says. No, hindi pwedeng hallucinated, made up legal citation. Eh yan ang naging problema sa mga generic AIs like ChatGPT, etc., Grok or Gemini, although they are still very, very useful, for
Yeah, for
other things.
other purposes.
For other things. Pero pag precision na yung kailangan, you should be relying on a specific tool like legal AI.
Yeah, there was even an news that came out that ChatGPT, uh I'm not so sure how far in the process it is, but they're now no longer allowed to give specific legal, medical, and financial advice. Kasi
Mm,
delikado talaga eh. So it's now part of OpenAI's usage policies na
I see.
they're now no longer allowed. And so if that's the case, the ChatGPT is supposed to tell you to really get in touch with a professional consultant.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I'm very curious to know, no, with Rico's case. I mean, Rico, you're a wealth manager, and in Singapore,
Mm.
we know, diba, again, the fine country, no. And in your line of work, it should be a fine, experience. Hindi lang fine in
Mm.
the sense na dapat seamless yung, kasi pera yan eh. And
Yeah, yeah,
alam
Mm.
yeah,
natin
yeah,
dito
yeah.
sa, alam natin dito sa Pinas, it's not that fine.
Mm.
And maraming mga Pinoy na nasa scam because of this, no? Like, what's your experience been like in terms of like dealing with, the importance of having rules and policies as a financial consultant?
Mm. Well, bro, I recently only um expanded my business to investors in the Philippines, right? And the past the last year, the past 8 years that I've been working in this industry, no, I've never met someone who questioned me whether what I'm doing is a scam or is legit. Okay? Because most of the people that I meet are from Singapore.
Mm.
Yeah.
And they know that as long as you're registered sa Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is MAS, there's
Mhm.
no way na scam yan. You know?
Mm,
The only
Yeah.
thing that's scam here is kung hindi registered sa gobyerno. Kaya napakalakas nung pag meron kang government backing dito, especially
Mm.
in
right.
your business, your banking, investments, or insurance. Yo. But yeah, recently when I started moving my clientele from the Philippines, yun doon natatanong ako, legit po ba yan, sir, And then funnily is I couldn't answer it, right? I mean,
Oh, why is
huh?
that?
Scam? What do you mean scam?
Parang it's so foreign to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very foreign to me. Then I realized after talking to many more clients from the Philippines na, oo nga no, madami kasing scam sa Pilipinas,
Yeah, it's very
which
common.
is, yeah, yun ako na-scam din ako diyan, yung babuyan. Um, it's my
Mm,
Mm.
one and only scam that I've ever experienced. Yeah. That's
yeah.
about 800,000 pesos, putik.
Wow.
But
Oh.
that's fine. Lesson learned. Yeah. Yeah, nung recently when I last year when I started meeting more Filipinos from the Philippines, that's when they started asking me kung legit po ba to? How do I know this is legit? And I had no other ways to do it but to search my name up dun sa registry ng ano
Yeah, ng
ng
MAS.
Monetary Authority of Singapore. So
Yeah.
I said, ayun yung license ko, that's my name, this is my firm. And what else? I don't know what else to say, but I advise them to, if you are not comfortable, then don't invest. Ayun lang naman
Yeah,
yung
Mm.
which is
sinasabi ko.
the reason why I bring that up, no, is kaya takot yung Pinoy sa opportunity. Because now you're always second guessing whether the person I'm talking to is going to take advantage of me or help
Mm,
me.
Mhm.
And that's what
yeah.
happens when rule of law is not enforced. We live in fear. Let's face
Mm.
it, no. Filipinos really live in fear and anxiety. Araw-araw, iba-iba yung anxiety na ano, na-experience ng mga Pinoy talaga. And I mean, some will say kaya tayo naging resilient, 'di ba? With all the storms and calamities, resilient nga. Pero takot tayo. And how
Mm,
long until we see change happen in the country? Because if you want to remove the fear, you need to build confidence. Yung confidence only comes when you know that the rule of law is
Yeah.
for you,
yeah, and it
'di ba?
supports you,
It
it
supports
will
you,
back you up.
exactly.
It's properly
Yeah.
implemented.
Correct.
Mm,
So I would say that couple of things siguro to kind of like, summarize the conversation. Number one is there starts with knowledge. Having
Mhm.
access to the right tools para may knowledge tayo in terms of what the law is in certain scenarios. Am I going against it? Am I protected by it? Do I have to correct my uh my behavior or action because I have to follow the rule? That's the first thing, knowledge. Secondly is enforcement. Being able to enforce, and ang hirap lang kasi hindi mo ma-enforce yan pag walang knowledge eh. Kaya talagang importante talaga yung knowledge as a starting point. So knowledge, enforcement, and then it builds confidence. Legal confidence. Alam ko, I mean, if for those who are watching this, minsan di natin alam kung kaano ka-importante yung legal confidence. Pero
Mhm.
even if you're not a lawyer, kailangan mo ng legal confidence. You need to know if what you're doing is right or wrong. You need to have the right information. You need to have the truth, 'di ba? And then once you know the truth, you can act out the truth, whether it's to protect your rights or to act accordingly. So we see the very big difference between Singapore and the Philippines. And our hope is that, I don't know if it's in, I'm sure it's gonna take a long time and it's gonna be an uphill battle. Pero yung hope naman talaga natin, why we're doing this, no? Why do we focus on empowering Filipinos is because we hope that one day the Philippines can catch up and it can
mm,
also become, if not at the level of Singapore, a little bit closer in terms of the rule of law being implemented
Mhm.
day to day. So I guess this has been a very insightful conversation. As always, thank you, Dex, for your guidance, and Rico, thank you for joining us today. I hope that everyone who's watching this learned something. And if you want to know more about Leia AI and My Legal Wiz, you can check out the links that we have in the description below, or wherever you're watching this. I'm sure there's access to our platform, and there you will be able to access our tool. If you have any questions, legal questions that you want to ask, whether it's personal legal concerns, business concerns, taxation, Leia is there to support you. And as always, we're here to educate more Filipinos on the importance of legal empowerment. So thank you once again, and we'll see you
yeah.
in the next episode.